Good morning, students. As we have already studied about the introduction part of this chapter, chapter number 12, friction. And even I just explained you that this chapter or the topic of this chapter, friction, we have already studied in our previous chapter, force and motion. Force and motion, in that the force part we have already discussed about the contact and non-contact force, and in that non-contact force there are two types of forces are there, muscular and friction force. So the frictions, the factors affecting the friction, then sliding and rolling friction, all the things we have studied. And in our yesterday's video I had just explained you all the things regarding the friction, the activities regarding the friction. Now today we will start reading the chapter number 12, friction. You might have seen a driver of a car on a truck slowing down the vehicle at a traffic signal. You to slow down your bicycle whenever needed by applying brakes. Have you ever thought why a vehicle slows down when brakes are applied? This is the common and daily life example that whenever we want to stop the bicycle or any of the vehicle, we have to apply something opposite force which opposes the motion of the bicycle and or any of the four-wheeler. Okay, so what was that? We have to discuss about this. Not only vehicle, any object moving over the surface of another object, means two objects are in contact, okay, slows down when no external force is applied on it. Finally, it stops. Have you not seen a moving ball on the ground stopping after some time? Means when you are playing on a playground, you have already seen that when you kick a ball on a playground, then after traveling some distance, it was automatically stopped without any force. Why this thing is happened? Why do we slip when we step on a banana peel? Okay, that was a bad habit. Okay, please do not throw the banana peel or any of the garbage on the road. Okay, it will harm or even pollute our environment. Okay, but here the topic come that why do we slip when we step on a banana peel? Why is it difficult to walk on a smooth and wet floor? Okay, these all the things are there about a question which always arises in our mind. Okay, here two boys are coming, okay, and these two boys are just be walking and there some banana peels are thrown on the road. Okay, her leg has just been put on this banana peel and he simply fallen down. Okay, means something is there. What was that? You will find the answers of such questions in this chapter. About all these questions we have just find the answers in this chapter, and these all the things are due to the force of friction. Now this force of friction we have easily explained by the activity 12.1, and the activity is gently push a book on a table. You have to push a book on a table. You observe that it stops after moving for some distance. Repeat this activity pushing the book from the opposite direction. Does the book stop this time too? Can you think of an explanation? Can we say that a force must be acting on the book opposing its motion? This force is called a force of friction. What was that? We have just take this book and keep it over here. After again we have applying the force. What was that? Just sliding the book. You are just be slide. Firstly the book was there on this dotted portion. When you slide the book, apply the force, it will occupy this step, this much distance, okay, and after carries a little bit distance, it was automatically stopped. Why this is happened? Why it was not be continuous working like this? In a figure B, again he was just be sliding on this dotted portion of a book and it covers that much distance. Okay, what is this? Friction opposes relative motion between the surfaces of the book and the table. There is a force which opposes the motion between the surface of the book and the table. What was that force? This force we are going to explain in this chapter. You saw that if you apply the force along the left, friction acts along the right. And if you apply the force along the right, the friction acts along the left direction. What is this? Means always be remember the friction force is your opposing force, which opposes the relative motions of the object. It means if you are going in a left direction, the friction force acts on a right direction, in opposite direction. When the force is applied in opposite direction, then only it is able to stop or to oppose the object. Okay, in both cases the force opposes the motion of the book. The force of friction always opposes the applied force. In the above activity, the force of friction between the surface of the book and the surface of the table. There are two contact surfaces are there. One is the surface of the book, another is the surface of the table. So both are acting and come in contact, and there is an opposing force between them which will stop the motion of the book. Is the friction the same for all the surfaces? Does it depends on the smoothness of the surfaces? Let us find out. What was this? Is the friction the same for all the surfaces? Does it depend on the smoothness of the surfaces? Let us find out. What is the answer? That the friction is only applicable on the smoothness of the surfaces or roughness of the surfaces, or on the means matter or nature of the surfaces. What was the dependency of a friction force? That thing we have discussed in this chapter. Factors affecting the friction. These factors affecting the friction has been explained within activity 12.2. Tie a string around a brick. You have to tie a string around a brick. Pull the brick by a spring balance. You have to be pull that brick by a spring balance. Okay, you have to hang that brick with the help of the spring balance. Okay, you need to apply some force. Note down the reading on the spring balance when the brick just begins to move. It gives you a measure of the force of friction between the surface of the brick and the floor. Here, what you are doing? You are just applying a string and just be rounded on this brick and hang it with the tie up with the balancing spring. When you just begins to move, the brick has just begins to move, you can easily find the how much stretchness you are feeling in this spring balance. Okay, that was a friction, a force of friction between the surface of the brick and the floor. Okay, as it was been moving, a friction force has been applied between the brick and the floor. Now wrap a piece of polythene around the brick and repeat this activity. What you have to do? You have to apply a smoothness. Okay, means some the surface of, you know it very well, the surface of a brick is rough. Okay, so what we have to apply? We have to now simply change the nature of the surface. We are just tie up or wrap up a piece of a polythene around the brick and repeat the same activity. Do you observe any difference in the reading of the spring balance in the above two cases? What might be the reason? What is the reason that now it was just be there is a difference when you have just be moved the brick without the wrap of a polythene and after wrapping a polythene? What was the different motion? Okay, this thing we have to be check what was that. So here okay, for this difference, repeat this activity by wrapping a piece of a jute bag around the brick. What do you observe? Now, three conditions are there. First, you have to start motion out the object without wrapping any of the thing. After, you have to be wrap a piece of a polythene around a brick, and in a third condition you have to be wrap a piece of a jute bag around the brick. Now you have to be observe the difference between all these three. Now, spring balance is a device used for measure. What is spring balance? First we have cleared that thing. Spring balance is a device used for measuring the force acting on an object. It consists of a coiled spring which gets stretched when a force is applied to it. Stretching of the spring is measured by a pointer moving on the graduated scale. The reading on the scale gives the magnitude of the force. Here, okay, there is some spring is there, and here this hook, with this hook you can hang any of the thing. They can easily measure here in the grams, the weights are written, so you can easily weight any of the balancing, but up to a particular limit, okay, and you can easily measure the things. Now activity 12.3, make an inclined plane on a smooth floor or on a table. You may use a wooden board supported by bricks or books. Put a mark with the pen at any point A on the inclined plane. Now let a pencil cell move down from this point. How far does it move on the table before coming to rest? Note down the distance. Now spread the piece of cloth over the table. Make sure that there are no wrinkles in the cloth. Try the activity again. What you are doing? You are just simply put one of the book or a slider at particular incline and a mark point A. Now what you have to do? You have to just slide down the object like this. This particular point is your A. From here you have to be slide down a pen. What you are thinking? After getting at a particular point, it was just be simply stop their motion, means at this point as the pen reach, it was simply stop its motion. Now what is happening in the second? Now you have to be apply a smooth cloth. This one is your cloth, okay. Now again from the marked point A, you have to slide down a pen. Now the plan has been covered little bit less distance from the previous one activity. Why this happened? Now the distance occupied by the plane is less. Why? Because what was there? What is? A smoothness. A cloth occupies a smoothness, okay. Remember, there should be no wrinkles on the cloth, and in the previous activity there is no cloth, there is no smoothness on the surface where the pen rolled down. There is only the surface of a table which was a rough one. Repeat this activity by spreading a thin layer of a sand over the table. Maintain the same slope throughout the activity. Conditions apply. You can change the surface, the nature of the surface, but you can't change the direction, or we can say the slope from where the particular point where the pen started to slide, okay, that will be remain fixed. In which case is the distance covered the minimum? Okay, you have to do all these three activities and then you have to answer us that in which case the distance covered is minimum. Three conditions we have. One, only on the surface of the table. Second, you have to be apply a smooth cloth, and third, a thin layer of a sand. Okay, then why is the distance covered by the pencil cell different in every time? Okay, try to reason why, discuss the result. You have to give me the answer of this activity, okay, after applying the three cases. Does the distance covered depend on the nature of the surface in which the cell moves? Does it? It is show that the distance covered on the nature of the surface on which the cell move. Is this? Could the smoothness of the surface of the cell also affect the distance traveled by it? Isn't it? There is something like this, maybe. Okay, so you have to be explained. I shall try the activity by wrapping a piece of a sandpaper around the cell. Okay, friction is caused. This is your homework, Pita. You have to do all these three activities and answer this. Okay, friction is caused by the irregularities of two surfaces. Even we are just be seen, even in the previous chapter also I have explained you, we are just be look at the surface and we are saying okay it was smooth. No, nothing is smooth. There is something, a little bit amount of irregularity is there. Okay, rough surface contains a maximum number of irregularity and the smooth surface contain a minimum amount of irregularity. But the friction caused by the irregularities of the two surfaces in the contact, always be remember, it was always be happen due to the irregularity present between the two surfaces when they are in a contact. Okay, even though surfaces which appear very smooth have a large number of minute irregularities on them, which was I have already explained you that a surface which appear very smooth have large number of minute irregularities on them. It means either the surface is rough or a smooth, there should be somehow irregularities present. Some of them contains maximum number of irregularities and some of them consist less number of irregularities, but irregularities are there. Okay, now the irregularities on the two surfaces look into one another. When we attempt to move any surface, we have to apply a force to overcome interlocking. On rough surfaces, there are a larger number of irregularities, so the force of friction is greater in if a rough surface is involved. Here your answer contains that the force of friction is greater in the rough surface is involved. Okay, if in the friction rough surface is involved, then the rough surface contains maximum number of friction force in compared to the smooth surface. Remember this thing. Okay, now here surface of irregularities are there. There is a little bit amount of irregularities. Either the surface is smooth and also there is something irregularities is present. We see that the friction is caused by the interlocking of irregularities in the two surfaces. Okay, what was there? There is something interlocking, beta. What was it interlocking? Suppose this is your surface, it contains a irregularity like this. Another surface is lying on it and that irregularities is in interlocking with it. Overlapping is there, that was locked between the surfaces, and this locking, the interlocking of irregularities between the two surfaces is caused the friction. Here the friction is caused by the interlocking of the irregularities in the two surfaces. Okay, here's your answer. It is obvious that the force of friction will increase if the two surfaces are pressed harder. You can experience it by dragging a mat when nobody is sitting on it and when a person is sitting on it. This can be done how many times at your home? Okay, suppose you are just be dragging a mat if any of the person is sitting or if no one is sitting on the mat. Recall your experience when last time you moved a heavy box from one place to another. If you have no such experience, then that experience now. Get that experience now. If you haven't even drag or just pull any of the weight material, heavy weight material, a heavy box, now to experience that thing, you can easily get understood by this what was the friction. What is easier, to move the box from the rest or to move when it is already in motion? Which thing is good? What was the answer? Means you are just be applying a force on two objects. One when it was in a rest, then you are applying a force, and another when it was in a motion, then you are applying a force. Which one is help you out for just to moving easily, dragged by you easily? What was that? Okay, the force required to overcome friction at the instant an object starts moving from the rest is a measure of static friction. What was that? Static friction, beta. Static means when any of the object is in rest. On the other hand, the force required to keep the object moving with the same speed is a measure of the sliding friction. What was that? Sliding friction. Okay, which friction is that? Sliding friction. Okay, so when the object is at a rest, then you are applying a force that was the static friction, and when the object was in a motion, then you are applying a force that is your which force? Sliding force. So here the remaining portion we have studied in our tomorrow's lecture. Okay, you have to give the answer of the activities that a pencil cell covers different distances and at different surfaces. And surfaces I have just be told you. You have to give me the answer. Why is the distance covered? That in which case is the distance covered the minimum? And three conditions are there. First, simply on the surface of the table. Second, a smooth cloth is spread. And third one is that when any of the thin layer of a shade has been made on the surface of the table. Okay, so you have to answer this question, and the remaining portion we will continue in our next lecture. Thank you. That's all for today.